All right, so we could say that now that they are really admitting that they have found different alien bodies from crash retrievals and four different type of distinct aliens, and one in particular we all kind of like know is happening in the background. But when you hear about all the rest of them that we're going to talk about in a little bit, but also the implications of what is happening because they are admitting the government, I'm saying, and all of the other control factors that they are now saying there's four species that they are saying that they found that could possibly be walking around here. I want to thank you all for being here. It is Tuesday, and as you know, we're 5 for 5. And yesterday I had to take a little time off. But what does that mean to you? Who cares? You know, I'm here today, and I care, of course. And if anybody else care, that'll be good too. But at the end of the day, we're going to get right into it. So I hope you're ready to go down that rabbit hole because tonight, this afternoon, they have been talking about they're now opening it up to a few different aliens that are walking among us. Now, when I think about some of the things here, one of the articles here that non-human bodies allegedly recovered from crash retrievals, which that being a UFO investigator and all those things, we've been knowing that for quite some time, but now they're starting to admit it, and that is where it gets really truly interesting. So let's get started right after this.
Objects in the sky. We don't know exactly what they are.
Of landing a man on the moon, and
Have anyone been murdered?
I have to be careful asking that question.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Your eyes is useless when your mind is blind. All right, so let's get started down the rabbit hole and hope each and every one of you have been paying close attention. So just yesterday or today, actually, Fox News reported that there are four species walking around us, and we'll get to each one of those as we go down this clip. And for it to be on mainstream media, then we know that we're making a lot of progress for them to say, okay, there's alien species. And I've been saying this for quite some time, that this is going to rattle a lot of people. And because whoever doesn't watch Fox News, which according to my personal thoughts is people in my community, they're just not going to hear about it. They're not going to know that what is going on. But because this is beginning to be widespread and major media is picking it up, that tells us that there's a psyops going or there's something else. But the fact that there is other aliens and that you could be an alien, someone else you love could be an alien, all of these things that they're here makes it really dang on interesting as we move forward today. So one of the articles that I found that I'll hop right into it was here, and it was by Taylor Penley. This is with Fox News. She published this today or yesterday or whatever, this morning, be a fact. And she was saying in her article that non-human bodies allegedly recovered through crash UFOs. And like I said, we've been knowing that for quite some time, that UFOs has been crashing. And that's been the tall tale thing for a very long time. But for her to begin to go through the process of saying this specifically, and let me let you know, she's not just a writer, she's a writer. Then there is whoever approves that editorial, whoever copyrights everything there at Fox News. Then it goes all the way back up to the editor-in-chief, I'm sure. Then it goes through someone else, I'm sure, and then someone else. It had to come from the top to say, we're going to let this slip out of our lips on our news station and mess up our credibility for you to be saying that there's alleged bodies. Now, they did use the keyword alleged, so alleged meaning I've heard it from someone, I didn't actually see it. And that's one of those narratives or qualifiers that we pay close attention to when we do what we do. But the good part about this is that they're going to be admitting. So again, we're going to talk about some of those bodies in just a second or two, but we'll get deeper into it. And so I got a couple of clips that we're going to play to set the tone of what we're talking about. And here's one of the other anchors on Fox News.
four different species of aliens. Another scientist called them Greys, Nordics, Insectoids, and Reptilians. All of them have 2 arms and 2 legs, just like us.
So that is pretty interesting that they're now saying that there are insectoids. There's these Nordic looking guys that kind of look like them, but taller. There is some bugs, some beady-eyed bug, not reptiles, but praying mantis looking aliens. And then there's the reptilian. So here's the deal. I got a lot of people close to me that be like, oh, I'm an alien. What kind am I? Or what, am I this type of alien? Am I this type of alien? And I want, if you've been around me long enough and I told you were an alien, then, I'm pretty good with this. Start thinking about the options that what you look like, and it might be coming a little bit. Do you look like that lizard thing? Okay, with a tail? Or do you got a cute little shape and tail? Maybe. Or do you look like the big eyes of the bug, praying mantis type thing? They're real slender, by the way. Or do you look like a little gray with a big head? Some of you got big heads. Or do you look a little bit like all of them? Or you really, really tall and look like the Nordics? And if you know you ain't got no height, disqualify the Nordics right now. That's not you. So where I'm going with this is you all got choices of 4 now that you could be until they identify the other one. So it's not this thing that we're looking at on the, what's the show? Star Wars, where you're going to the bar and everybody's, playing and everything else. And so now we're down to the nitty gritty where there are some other aliens there. But here's another description of this that makes it all interesting. And then we're going to go in a little harder on this right here.
4 different species of aliens. Another scientist called them Greys, Nordics, Insectoids, and Reptilians. All of them have 2 arms and 2 legs, just like us. Experts speculate the reptilians are scaly with long tails, like a lizard. Insectoids look like a praying mantis. The Greys look like your classic movie alien, and the Nordics look like a regular Swedish guy, but 7 feet tall.
All right, so now this begins to take us down the rabbit hole of truth. My whole, content all the time has always been about these reptilian agenda. I put out things and said, hey, we want to meet one. We have a hotline, just the content period, because I know that all of them is not bad, right? There are some good ones too. And now we talked about how, we've been inbred, or our DNA has been altered as humans with those zeta reticular and reptilians. So we got a little bit of gray things in us, and then those scaly things. I have books right here that I'm reading that you can't find anywhere. And in this book, it talks about the reptilian brain structure, the reptilian brain medulla oblongata, the reptilian brain origin that affects tracks of that, the reptilian brain histology of reptilian character in human teeth. Human teeth has reptilian character. This is an ancient book, by the way, and there ain't too many copies out here. And then it says reptilian brain and reptilian spine and human fossils compared to reptilian fossils. I'm going through this and I'm finding some profound things that are just blowing me away, that we are probably just a different type of lizard beings, or they just said, let's create some of this stuff and make them hide among these other people. I don't know what the plan was, but whatever it was, somebody messed with some DNA. Now, having said that, if these reptilians can shapeshift and they can walk through dimensions and they can do all those things, it is worth our mind to begin to learn the processes of that. And maybe we too have it because it's in our DNA, and that's something you can't pull out. You can suppress it. You can make sure they don't remember. You can make sure a lot of things happen, but if it's in you, it's in you. And why don't we explore that and begin a process of saying, hey, this is what we're going to do. But what happens though? What happens in the real world now that they're beginning to edge out little by little that there is something else non-human walking around this planet, walking around you every single day, and in the grocery store, at the movie theater? Some of you have had intimacy with some of these people. You felt it. It felt a little different. Maybe, it was a little weird. Maybe when you finish, like, wow, that was just really wild and exotic. Boy, he got an animal, or she got an animalistic approach. Maybe you have, and maybe it was. And it's right there in front of you the whole time. The key to it is, does that thing know what it is? Oftentimes, some of the humans don't know what they are. They don't know that they're hybrids because they just don't know. But they feel strange. Well, I got a lust for this uncooked meat, or I like to bite, or I like to do all those things. So I'm just saying it is a possibility that they're walking right now, and you have a possibility that you have already interacted with some type of extraterrestrial being. So where do we go from here? Well, when I'm looking at a couple of other things that was pretty amazing, and this is another article that I found, and it came up today. So the headlines has been buzzing all day today about them talking about the 4 types. And again, these scientists are now saying they believe that the 4 types of alien life have been found. They're not losing a ledge anymore. They're saying they found them. And the thing about them, they haven't found them alive, is what they're saying. So they can kind of go down a route of it was some crash ship. And we all know, or you should know if you've been around us a long time, that the reptilians are underground. They're here. They're not. Now, they may have some other ships coming in and out, but there we go. Now, skit operator said we are made in God's image. Yeah. And so Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, let's make man in our image and the likenesses of ourselves. So obviously that's a plural group saying that. R is O-U-R, and R is not in one person or one God, so to speak. So if we want to go with the word is the word, and the word is the word, maybe. So the other part of that is now going to bring people into a whole nother world that this thing is about to go down. Not full disclosure, just enough to wet the beak, just enough to disturb the mind, disturb the peace, just enough to get a little potty, problem, reaction, solution, or kind of see the temperament of this. But it's all about another reason. It's another reason that somebody is saying, let's push this out slowly to tell people that there's something else flying around that we don't know what it is, but yet you don't want to encounter this thing. And now we know it walk among us. That changed the entire game, by the way. See, flying around and walking among you is not the same territory. Let me repeat that. Something flying around that you don't know what it is not even close to your mind of whatever, of something walking around among you that you don't know what it is. Can I get a whatever on that one, right? Can I get a woo woo? Can I get a super chat or something on that? You get what I'm saying? Because this is the gap between the truth, and they're trying to figure out how to close that gap. And somebody's going to lose their freaking mind. There's going to be some people who's not going to understand this and don't want to accept it, and they're going to lose their mind. You're going to be out there one day and somebody's just going to jump out of this thing and they're going to lose their mind. What are you going to do? What are we going to do? They're going to say the world is about to end. So let them decide to add to the fray. Let them decide to accelerate that with you being at the moment. You get where I'm going with this, right? They know that there's going to be some type of hysteria of the public sentiment when they reveal these things. All right, let's keep going, because I think that understanding what is going to happen, and especially when you start thinking about even people in Congress and how they feel about things like this lady right here.
I have seen evidence in a skiff that leads me to believe there are things we cannot explain, and I have observed things that are of non-human origin and creation. That's my opinion.
Now, I'm going to get down to religion in a little bit, okay? Because that's going to be really important. And here is my book, by the way, The Unspeakable Truth. And one of the chapters, I'm just going to go, this was 2 years in the making, researchers, the whole 9 yards, not a bit of AI in here. I'm just letting you know, this is all from ancient civilization to everything. And of course, it is how fake history, Christianity, okay, and self-oppression robbed the African-American of their voice in the modern UFO revolution. I wrote this 2 years ago. We started on this project, already knowing the possibility of the effect in my particular culture upon this revelation. And I'm in a building full of people that have some type of Christian background. I'm not knocking that. And when we put our flyers on the wall to promote our events, to promote people to come out, 2 types of things happens. Number one, somebody always take it down. Number 2, I get pulled to the side by people saying, I grew up in a church. Is aliens real? Because I do feel like something else is there. They are admitting it silently. Okay. So I already know that what I'm talking about is truth, that there is going to be a disconnect from both sides of this fence, because it's not going to get aired in our media by all means necessary. It's not going to go down like that. So we have to then look at what's the preparation model, when it comes down to it. So I have in here a chapter, the biblical Abraham to Joseph. So I kind of go in that. This is really deep. I have, I may reach off some of this because it's some good stuff. But if you want to get you a autographed copy, I still got a few left. Everyone else should have received theirs already now. If not, by tomorrow for sure, 100%. Everyone who's already got yours, and I want to appreciate it. But, you know, you might want to, let me find my little banner that we can put this up here. And where is it? Where would you get this? All right. So either way, you go to roderickmartin.com. Let me just leave it at that. And then you can get you a book. And there we go. I'm just gonna do it like this. Go to that guy right there. Anyway, go to roderickmartin.com, and I'm going to get you a autographed copy. Now, hopefully you support me, you know, but I guarantee you will not be disappointed with what is in this book and all that I cover, and you will be more than satisfied. I can tell you that 100%. And I'm very proud of the work, and to be on time and in time is a beautiful thing. And so that's not it. Let me just do it right there. Okay, there you go. Go to roderickmartin.com. Now, even if you got a story and you want to talk, you can do a consultation. I've been talking to people, and I think if you got something on your mind now and you really want to talk, it's time. It's time, because I'm going to tell you some things and observe things from a different perspective. But either way, let's continue, and we'll come back to the book stuff because I got other clips. You can get the book from Roderick. Go to roderickmartin.com, and you can order the book. Actually, I'm going to start letting some of you get that Reptilian Guide Consciousness. And let me tell you something. A lot of big time people are now posting their stuff about how to see reptilians. We did that on a webinar. We've done it, everything else, and pretty much. So, but anyway, go there, order the book, and it'll give you an opportunity what name you want me to sign. I'm going to meditate on your name, and I'll send you something personally from that book. And I'm going to sign it personally. And it's already was a bestseller. Now it is going to go a whole different direction because it was before its time. It's now it's time. And so hopefully to see you all there. All right. So let me play another clip for you so that we continue to go into what Tim Burchett, you know, I always talk about Tim Burchett, and I still think he's on the other side. I don't care. I'm not voting for you, brother. So until you step down and tell us what you want to know, I ain't voting for you. So here we go.
The problem we have right now is the deep state's fighting the president on release, and he kept his word. And I suspect some of our not so friendly comrades and some of our alphabet agencies are slow walking a lot of the information. It's about power, it's about control, and that's kind of what runs Washington.
I don't buy it. Okay, I'm not into politics. But he took an oath, and I've said it before, and I'm going to always toot that horn on any of them. The same thing with Luna. They took an oath to the United States government or the business develop or whatever you want to call it. In that oath, they can't tell us certain things, period. And for them to always say that if you knew what I knew, you seen what I seen, who cares? I ain't voting for that. I don't care. Take one for the team. If you are there for the people and you are rich already, step down and tell us. Become public enemy number 3. Whatever it takes. Then you will be our hero. Go against them completely, and now we will crown you King Tim hero and Queen Luna, whatever her name is. In the meantime, pheasants ain't telling us nothing. All right, so this will find his people will get this because they search the internet for everything. And that's cool. I want to be heard on that one. So I'm saying they're wagging the dog, but the news media for coverage and all that is starting to spit stuff out. And people, there's things walking around here. They're saying it now. There's aliens. And when we do our public events and we try to put that out there and people, so here's what's going to happen. You know, there's going to be a lot of things people are going to get caught off guard. I already got my little notices. Don't say this, don't say that, whatever, you know, and I'd rather just take me and Devin over there and TK and Judah and a couple of us, and we just go do something totally different and we know where to go. We know where to hide, the bunker, whatever. And everybody else off, whatever. Unless you buy the book. I'm going to give you the address in the book. No, I'm kidding. Don't do it that way. But what I'm saying is, it's that serious, though. It's that serious that you got to get around people who are going to cultivate your mind about things that you're going to see in your eyes that you are not going to it's going to be incomprehensible to you. Plain and simple. I don't care how you twist it. Much as I'm talking about reptilians, when that 8-foot lizard thing sits in front of me, I don't know if I'm going to be putting my hand out, welcome to Earth, and shaking his hand or whatever. I don't know. Because that reptilian brain that I got from them may react different. I don't think I'll be doing what that dude on TV. Y'all seen that everywhere. I ain't doing that either. But you get where I'm saying. Someone said, put up what we can support. Yeah, okay. So that goes to, and I think y'all, because we did not reach our goals. So I was out with signs. We'll work for food. And I love you guys, though. I really do. I love all of y'all. Here it is right here. So let me take the banner down. If you want to support us, you can go to Patreon, the 25 for the next 3 months and support us. But we also are going to be doing our monthly lectures and webinars. I'm going to go into Patreon and start doing that there. So we're going to raise that value. We will close off some of the other memberships there. And if some people's not there, they're just not there. I mean, I understand, we have to make some changes there, but we're getting ready to go in the dark on some of this content. It's just time. So I got to get back to the bandwagon of that. But hopefully, if you screenshot that for you, Ms. Woods, and then I'll take that down. No, we're not using Why the Big Secret Cash App, because we're changing that over to our, we're a nonprofit now, and they have not converted that account. It's taken them weeks, and there's dollars in there. I don't even know where it is. I can't even touch as much as we needed. That was one of the reasons why we was doing the support, because they locked it up until they converted over to the nonprofit. So let me take that down, Rainbow. I appreciate it. They can do PayPal or up there, Zoom that you see right there, support. Zelle, and that will come up there as well. So yeah, we'll take that down. All right. So at that point, let's go deeper into the conversations of what we're talking about. All right. And it's important to understand that I don't know how you're going to deal with this, because you're going to explain this to your children. You're going to have to explain this to your cousins, your grandmothers who by chance could be on their way out. You know what I'm saying? And where they think where they was going for heaven is getting ready to change. Right before you go to the doorway, the sign on the door changes. Metaphorically, you get what I'm saying? You're about to leave here to go to heaven. And before now, the sign on the door changes to where it ain't what you thought it was. You're going to have to sit down and hold their hand through the process. I'm just telling you, I'm not making this up. People have been prepared their whole life to go where they're going. And now they're going to figure out all of that has changed. They're going to figure out it all has changed. It's not the same anymore. People are going to be afraid to go, period. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm giving you a psychological approach to what is actually happening. The possibility of thought. Because on one hand, if they're saying that we got reptilians, insectoids, now let's just go there. You telling me an insect thing that you have stepped on, killed, sprayed the backyard, slapped it around, whatever. I don't know how many praying mantis all of y'all have killed or unalive, whatever the word we want to use. You have stepped on an ant. You have stepped on a roach. You have killed. And when that big one stands in front of you and can read your mind, and in your mind, you start processing how many of his folks you done whacked out, what do you do? What are you going to do? Because it's going to read your mind. He said, this ain't connected to the stock market. No, let me take that off. Now I don't even know what you're talking about. So You get what I'm saying, right? What are you going to do when an insectoid stands in front of you with insectoid eyes and it looks like a praying mantis and you can't even comprehend? How does this thing have an intelligence? How does it drive a car? Or if it did, fly, whatever. How does it eat? It's sitting there and it's sitting in front of you. I know y'all are just sitting here listening to me rant here. People, this is real. They're conditioning us for something. Because just 2 weeks ago, we just saw orbs, which is good, which wasn't enough though. Now they want to say they know that there's 4 types. Now, what needs to happen at this point is the ones that they're not mentioning. So somebody, but we already know the reptilians do not want to be discovered. They're running a show. They have suppressed everyone. They are the epitome of the thing. And they will be where people can't do that. Yeah. Someone said that's crazy. If they can reach your mind, ain't much you can do. I know, right? That's what I'm talking about, right, Robinson? Because at this point, you are toast. And I'm not saying they're going to whack you off, but you're going to sit there and have to explain to them why y'all seen the movie when Will Smith, when the dude kept stepping on the bugs, in humor. I'm just saying. All right, so let's play a couple of more clips so that I'm not here to terrorize you on information. And right here on the screen, real quickly, I want you to, and if anybody gets my book while we're online, please, I don't know, it'll say a notice. I want to give you a shout out, okay? I got to give you a shout out. And if anyone you want to book a consultation call, you can do it on the same website, roderickmartin.com, okay? All right, so I got a couple other clips. Let's go into it because let's get deeper into the conversation. And let's see what they're talking about. So one of the things that this guy who was on one of the interviews, and he was talking about major whistleblowers were having issues. And he was talking about how this is really affecting some of their lives. Even today with disclosure, it's like they want to tell us one thing. But then if there's any type of whistleblowers that know something opposite or more gruesome, they're still shutting these people down. Why? You would think they just let them talk. But listen to what this guy got to say, and when or whoever he talked to had to say about, I think it's a dangerous life to be in UFO thing right now. What I'm doing, and a lot of people, I think it's a dangerous life. Because if you say the wrong thing because you're going to spill the beans, you don't know what they're sensitive about. You don't know. You might just spit out and say something because it sounds good and we got some good tips. And we don't know if that tip was not supposed to be said. And it cost you. But listen to the story.
One I thought was going to do an interview, and then a couple days before sent me a message saying, after further consideration and long talks with my wife, I decided I'd be forfeiting my life if I participated in your interview. And I thought that was like very unsettling message to get, obviously, but also very specific word choice, forfeiting my life.
Now, you heard it. Like you said, forfeiting his life. That is like, one of the things that you have to think about. So, and it's right that he will have that consideration, okay? And I think it's something that we will look at. And by the way, I've been feeling great lately, over the last weeks and weeks. And so this is my hydrogen water. And it's hydrogen water, and then I'm going to put it over here on our money codes. Y'all see the books. If y'all went to the website, you will have it. You can download it. So I'm going to decide, am I going to program this water for love, or let's see, I got plenty of choices here real quick. All I do is I'll sit it on the codes and program the water. So I can do pure money. I can do money in abundance. I can do pure love, love in abundance, and I can do pure energy, and I can do freedom in abundance. So I think hopefully to get my book sold, because I don't want to do love. I don't want to provoke anything that people out here, y'all not ready for all of that, all of you, But I ain't saying I'm not, and some of you, but all right. So we're going to program this water while it's doing the hydrogen thing. Yeah. Okay. So hydrogen and water is being made. It is being programmed for pure money. All right. So it'll manifest. We train having the water to do its thing. So when we're talking about reptilian shapeshifters, Nordics, and then just like he's saying, these people are, I'm going to play his clip again because I think it's very important of how people are seeing this. All right, let's play it one more time.
One I thought was going to do an interview, and then a couple days before sent me a message saying, after further consideration and long talks with my wife, I decided I'd be forfeiting my life if I participated in your interview.
All right, so here you go. He's talking to his wife. His wife is like, hey, I'm going to be forfeiting my life. Man, he didn't say unalived. He's like, this is a trade-off. In other words, he's saying, we're letting you live because you are quiet. And if you say something, the deal is done. It's over. You forfeit your life. You out. It's like, it's not even an option. You say this, you forfeit. We've used the word before. You can forfeit your reward or forfeit your insurance or whatever because you did. So it's a violation for him to talk about this. And then he's going to forfeit it. And his wife is like, okay. Now, I would imagine if his wife said, yeah, we got insurance. Go ahead and talk, baby. I don't know how he would see the world then, though. You know what I'm saying? But, but it's dangerous out here is what I'm talking about. Because what we think we're getting, there's things that they better not tell us. There are things that they do not want people to know. And I think half of the story about UFOs and aliens is one thing. Telling people a few things is there. You know what I'm saying? It is, it's one of those things. I really think it's an interesting task. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. So let me see. Let me answer this real quickly. All right. So, yeah, but that's the challenge that so if you just joined us, Fox News have reported that they're now saying that they're starting to reveal that there are 4 alien species around us. Okay. And in those 4 alien species, we need to, think about it, and I'm going to play it again so you know what those 4 are, and we'll go into a little more conversation with them right now.
4 different species of aliens. Another scientist called them Greys, Nordics, Insectoids, and Reptilians. All of them have 2 arms and 2 legs, just like us. Experts speculate the Reptilians are scaly with long tails like a lizard. Insectoids look like a praying mantis. The Greys look like your classic movie alien, and the Nordics look like a regular Swedish guy, but 7 feet tall.
Well, there you go. So we are talking about that conversation. And it is probably worth noting that that is the prelim to more conversations. That is probably going to expand itself into a whole nother conversation of more beings, because people who are not talked about, like the Lyrians and Palladians, is going to get pissed off. All these starseeds, Palladian starseeds, it's going to be a whole new racist factions going on. Watch it. I'm not making this up. Start watching social media. Start watching social media for the Palladian starseeds, and other people are going to be saying, we exist. Why not talk about us? Watch what happens. That separation thing, this in and out, it's going to happen. Because people take this stuff serious. It's the ones who think they're connected to who they are, and then that faction is better than this faction. And, but I do believe, and listen to me closely, if they mention certain ones, those are the ones who are doing disservice to human civilization. Then we're going to have a private battlefront. We're going to have a private battlefront. That's just what it's going to be. Plain and simple. A private battlefront. No ifs, ands, and buts. There's going to be a private battlefront. It's just going to go down. All right? It's going to go down. I'm just letting you know. All right, so let me continue to go down the pipeline. And they already talked about why they did not want to tell the public. Let's go here.
There are a number of other reasons guiding their desire to keep this secret, including a general belief that the public can't handle the truth. I would argue the public can handle the truth. I think my film shows that. People aren't watching it and jumping out of windows. They're curious and they want to learn more. There's also a general feeling that, a concern that they can't tell the American public what they know and don't know without also telling our adversaries and giving them some sort of advantage. But I think that that's not really accurate. I think our adversaries know we're not alone in the universe. They know we've been recovering craft of non-human technology, non-human origin. Saying it out loud wouldn't give them any new information.
So as I open up my hydrogen water, y'all might hear it. Ah, there you go. Did y'all hear that? Yeah. So it's programmed with, real life, pure money codes. Oh. And the code is telling the water, it says, I am money, prosper, ascension. It is all being programmed into the water. Bliss, money. Money is everywhere, though. Ascension. I'm a magnet. I am receiving. This is some good stuff. I just programmed this water. I'm finna drink it. It don't work unless you drink it. Let me drink it. Yep. Program water. You should know that you should be able to do that. And that is something that you all should be doing. Okay. That is truly one of those things. All right. So I do have a team that's paying attention today. Cool. Appreciate you. All right. So here's where we're going to go, because we got to go someplace. We got to be ready. I think that, if you go back and watch a lot of my videos about the reptilians and more than shape-shifting, you go and watch stuff that I talk about, the serpent knowledge, you will probably begin to be more prepared for things more than you know. There was once a ridicule about some of the stuff that I talk about. Now it's just probably factual. I focus on reptilians more than anything out of all these other races because of two reasons. And I could tell you, but who gives a care? Y'all don't care. So I can continue talking. But there's two reasons why I really focus on reptilians. But what I will say is you might want to understand that there's going to be, and I'm trying to make sure I say this delicately, really, I got a grammar box too. Y'all got to know. I got my grammar box over here, unlimited, whatever. You go in there, you can, and if your consciousness and hear what I'm butchering, but you do understand it, then it's working. I got an unlimited spelling box over here. And pretty soon I plan on have a custom grammar box. You'll get to see it someday, but later on down the road. But the whole point is I want you to be prepared for what I call reptilian consciousness. Okay? Make no mistake about it. It exists. See, we're so tied up in the physical world. And if any of you have went through trainings and understand, and those you got that CIA Pacific program got it from me, that our first lesson was we're more than our physical bodies. We're more than physical worlds. We can see beyond that, right? So that is our core training in the whole program. And I live by it and it works for me. I can see things that I didn't see before. Now it's a little scary, and not in a bad way, because I'm like, damn, I asked for this. Everything I built, the owl, this, to see the unseen. I'm looking at people now, and you can just feel them. You can just feel the different stuff, and you can see you reading something and it just coming clear what it really means. It's crazy. All of us have the capacity to do so. We just got to train our minds. And the bullshit meter is like way up here high. It's like, whatever. And then even my heart thoughts are higher. I can have a conversation and I can turn around like, look, I need to clarify this because I'm gonna do my job. I don't want people to feel a certain way when I know subconsciously it's gonna be done differently. Not up here, because we're tapped into this. So I'm saying to you, reptilian consciousness, by the way, exists everywhere you can think. And why does it exist everywhere you can think? Because everyone has it in them. Boom, I said it. And if you don't take the time to begin to understand this, then when they do reveal these mind shaping people, and they're going to control easily. Easily. Because we're going to let the cat out of the bag. We're going to let it out. We're going to let it out with the thought of, you trying to turn it on? Oh. But we're going to let it out. And it's going to be a problem. I can talk to a lot of people. Everybody has, and you can know when it's activated. You know when it's high. You know when it's different. It's no joke. It's no joke. So it's sad to say that serpent consciousness, as Golden is saying, it exists. It's everywhere. But what if you can learn it? See, one of the greatest gifts, and I'm taking a quick detour because I know you want to know about these aliens and pesky stuff, and I was going to tell you the other two things, but I told you nobody cared. I could sit right here on air and say, and nobody said nothing, right? That's why I know. It's funny, but that's okay. I'm just going to talk to TK over here, the producer, and Devin over there. I'm going to talk to them when we get out there. I'm going to tell them. Oh, they don't care either. But you get what I'm saying. I'm going to talk to them. Yeah, roll with the homies over there. You know what I'm saying? And y'all make sure y'all be in a couple of days. I'm gonna have a camera on their ass over here. We getting it, so y'all can kind of see them. Cause boy, TK came in here with a smile like this. He is smiling like this, y'all. Why? Because it's raining outside, and it probably been raining all weekend for her, but it's raining. Y'all get that later. Grow up. All right. So the point I'm making is that there is reptilian consciousness in everybody, and it's not just controlling ourselves, but it's dictating a lot of emotional feelings. It really does. And I think it's something that, we've been talking about our reptilian shadow guides, and I see a question on here. So let's go here. Someone says, Roderick, are you reptilian? Are you a reptilian, Roderick? The Illuminati hat with a reptilian eye. Nice, though. All right. So, first of all, Outlander, I got a question for you. How old are you? So tell me, how old are you? And then we will go there. Let's go there. All right. And also, by the way, I need to let y'all know, I wasn't prepared today because we start later, but the rest of this week and all next week, I'm going to bring out every crystal that I wear, my malas. And then I'm going to show you what each one of them does and mean and protection. And then I'm going to give you our crystal custodian's information that she's going to make a custom mala for you. And you want that done custom. You want it done on your energy, your mindset, and all. I have plenty for different scenarios. We're going to go through that. I've already talked to you, and I'll later on tell you about some shea butter. Not now. I want you to wait around. But let me answer the question, because Outlander said in August. Let me go back. 29. All right. So 29 tells me that, see, this is V, the movie V. That's all it is. It's not the Illuminati. So that's why I knew you. That's why I asked how old you. Because if you like 55 times 2, or not that's dead gone. I'll be out of here. But 25 times 2, plus 4, plus 1, plus 2. Then you would know about V, the whole series, right? And this is the symbol. So I just have this on my hand. And you'll be surprised when I wear it and somebody got their reptilian consciousness. They kind of know what it is, and they just kind of go from there. So, but no, I'm not reptilian. And but I'm planning to meet one face to face. I'm talking sitting here in our new office. I'm gonna meet. He's gonna sit right there, and he's gonna, hey, bro, what's with the scales? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask the hard questions. Y'all gonna be talking about who is God? Dude, what's with the fucking scales? That's what I'm saying. Excuse me. I know we have young folks watching, so I promise not to get my mouth washed out with soap. All right, so I work on our sensor button to go beep, beep, and we would do that. Someone says, I hope it's raining dollars. It ain't. No, we don't get that much support. We probably are the most underfunded show on what's this? YouTube. I watch a lot of other shows. I mean, they be like kicking it to them. I know I don't do enough good job yet. But when I start doing an awesome job, you'll support. We'll be all right. We'll have better guests. We'll reach out to all the people I know and get them on our channels and everything else. All right, so I'm going to play another clip. And we're going to get into this one. I think it's important. I think I played it already, but let's go.
It's a humbling experience for the human race. That has to be a major issue here, almost a religious issue.
Yeah, look, some people say they worry it would negatively impact religion. I don't really personally see that. I think that all the world's religions will sort of fit this into their existing dogma in one way or another. And yeah, I think a lot of these arguments that society can't handle the truth and we're all going to be too shook up by this, I don't think that holds up at this day and age.
All right, so what he's saying, and he said something very important, that religion is going to shift the narrative. And what he's saying is that they're gonna have to paint the aliens the number one enemy of the church, which is demons, in order to keep the institution going, in order to keep the tide and the brainwashing. The enemy doesn't change; it just looks different. And believe me when I say this, okay? They're going to change the narrative of what these aliens are. Reptilians, no, it's a demon. Greys, it's a demon. Tall, white, Nordics, look like humans, it's a demon. Okay? Insectoids, that's got to be a demon, right? That's what they're going to do. And then they're going to ask the demons, you want Jesus to die for your sins? They're going to have to keep it going. I can't wait to see how this one flows. I'm just saying, I'm going to go to church. I'm going. When that really hits, I'm going on Sunday so I can get the word, because I want them to share the word like they've been doing with a whole new narrative. It's going to be great storytelling. I cannot wait to go to church. And when everything comes out, I'm saying, I'll go in there, be like, okay, and you slip little notes to the pastor for whatever scripture can go into aliens, make sure they say it. I'm not talking about a Catholic church. I don't know. But, the Potter's house is right down the street. So I don't know. But the whole point is I will go in there and I want to see how they got to address it. There's not a pastor around who ain't now knowing he's going to have to address it pretty soon. And I cannot wait to hear what they say. In fact, I'm gonna tithe that day for them. They're gonna say, come and let me lay hands on you, brother. I'm gonna go up there and be like, what about the aliens? I'm going in. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna give them every opportunity to tell me the backstory of what's happening with this. You get what I'm saying? I'm not never telling you Jesus Christ didn't exist. I never said that. I'm just saying I want to hear their narrative of how they're going to spin it. I just want to know. Wouldn't y'all want to know? And I know I ain't the only one who can go in there when that starts happening. You, TK? TK, is she going to do it too? What that? Wait, ask his wife. But I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You get what I'm talking about, right? Because I'm going in. I'm telling you. When he say, I'm telling you, when they say who got $100, you know how they do it? I need 21 people with $100. I'm going with the $100, and I'm gonna let them take it out of my hand and be like, tell me about the aliens. You get what I'm saying? And he either gonna let my money go, or he got to go in for the kill, baby. He got to go in. He got to lay his hands on and say they're demons. He gonna have to explain to me his perception of it. I'm just telling you, it's gonna be good though. It's gonna be great. Don says, I'll be one of the code switching mofos if I know it, right? That is what I'm talking about, people, that we have to be a little more cognitive to what is happening in real time so you understand that something is going down this pipeline. They're not doing none of this by whatever. So anyway, when you think about religion, in fact, like I said, I cover a lot. My whole book goes in those directions. And this is deep. See, Billy did the forward, but when he read this, he was like, dude, this is deep. It's really good. I'm going to start teaching some stuff out of my own book to let you know what you're missing. Yeah. I mean, we got research. I don't think y'all can see it. Let me go. I got everything in here to teach you some stuff. I really do. And I will address that Illuminati statement that someone says our branding. Yeah, we stole the triangle from the Illuminati. We stole the triangle. They the only one could use it. But you can use symbols, right? Symbols can mean any and everything. Yeah, roderickmartin.com. And I'm going to sign an autographed copy for you. I have about 10 left over 12. I got some more from Billy, but yeah, you get what I'm saying? I want to sign the book for you. And hopefully, if somebody ordered during the show, I want to give you a call out. So in the meantime, since we have all of you here, I've told you on many occasions that I do recommend, if you were to get to a point where you wanted to have some better skin, you might want to try Make It Sewn shea butter. Now, we having a relationship. Now, you're okay. We're good. We're having a relationship August the 8th. New Life Tools and everybody's going to be here. So we're going to actually give a whole supply of shea butter. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and this is a little personal, but I watched the creator of this talk about this to someone else in our presence. And the someone else was like, you did what? You put what in it? And it was so methodical, by the way. It was like an exchange of two grace of peacocks, just doing that dance and swans, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you should have saw it. But I think it was the shea butter. The shea butter was like in full effect. Okay, I want y'all to know. But anyway, you can put this stuff on, and I'll put it on the website for you in a minute. I use it every day. This one I just started. This is the first time I'm using. No, I picked it up before, Manifest, but I never really put it on. So, oh yeah. So anyway, and we put up there, it's Make It Sewn. You can go to the website. There's a lot of other scents there that you can try. The one, Illuminate, Peace, Abundance, Enlighten, Ascend, 11, Atlas, Infinity, Orion. I use Orion a lot, so that's something that I use. And all of these are crafted and coded. So check them out. Let me put the website so y'all can screenshot it. Go there, and do we have it there? Yeah, there we go, right here. So there you go. MakeItSewn.com. Get you some, and let us know. And come back and let us know later on how it worked out for you. All right, so let's continue. Someone says it sucks to knowing that there's a chance my kids won't be able to live a normal life. All right, so I was telling a friend of mine today, and I was giving her kudos about her children and the good job that she has done. And I was giving her an example that there is going to be two sides to this coin. So think about the next 20 years, Dom. So a lot of everyday work is going to be going to space. We're going to have space tourism, asteroid mining. They're going to move a lot of toxic things to space. They're just going to do a lot of stuff. And the chances are that your children, depending on their ages, will probably get into an aircraft to go to work as much as people get on the bus to go uptown. And there's going to be two types. There's going to be one that's going to be like, ooh, we kind of nervous because all their lives, their moms and telling them there's nothing up there but heaven, baby. We got our new thing right here that says the sky is not the limit. Y'all see that pretty soon. But where I'm going with this is that there's going to be, I was telling her, I said, well, your children are going to, because the way she raised them, is going to look out the window and see alien ships and be like, oh, that's cool. Someone else's kids are going to look out that window and their mind is going to be blown. They're going to need therapy. They're going to, because all their life they've been programmed, it doesn't exist. And maybe not in that particular way, but the possibilities of the two distinctions between how they were raised is totally different. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's something that you want to prepare. Now, if you are raising your children separately from their mom, then, and what I can understand, you're going to have one has church mind, and I'm not saying yours do, but it could be totally different. And that could be, I have another friend, him and his new wife is dealing with his older child's mother. And she don't like the fact when the daughter visit them that they talk about aliens, and then she goes to church on Sundays and asks mom, oh, hey, what about aliens? And mom don't want to have the conversation. So she don't tell her that. So it's just where they go when we go from there. All right. Joy says, I'm almost out of shea butter. Well, you know where to find the oh, and by the way, we were going to have movie night this weekend. Unfortunately, we're not going to do that. And it's all on me because I was tired this week. I'm not going to lie to you. Our next event is going to be on the 13th of June. And then after that event, we're going to caravan together as a group and go watch the movie. Did we get any information on that already? You waiting on back? Oh, are they like building a new theater for us or what? Did you even think about us this weekend? You thought about us. What do you think, Devin? You think I know. Same here. Because this girl is one of the most organized. Let me tell y'all something. She's one of the most organized person in our group. And when she tell you using words, the little stutter like that, she did not think about us this weekend. She will say, Ashe, yeah, blah, on whatever, her words. But when they go like hyphens and shit, nah. It ain't going down. You know what I'm saying? What we got? You put some in the chat? Oh, my personal self. Yeah. So when you look at those things, oh yeah. So by the way, thank you. I should be talking to Darren Cuby tonight for actually tomorrow and Thursday, or Thursday for sure. And remember the Michael Jackson movie, Michael, it ain't even a movie, Michael Jackson. And anyway, Darren Cuby claims that the Jacksons did a lot of stuff, and he was on our show before. His book is kind of out, and then I get contacted by the Jackson family, which now I know exactly who it was, which is one of his brother's kids and whatever, and makes it even more juicier. So I'm having him back on the air, and we're going to try to arrange these other people who can tell like little line test or whatever, but we may get that part. I won't promise that part, but you'll still get to hear the good stuff, right? And I witnessed the Jacksons movie this weekend, and we got 2 minutes left in the show. And let me tell you, don't go waste your money. Don't waste your freaking money. I'm telling you, it was probably the most expensive video that you can pay for. Like MTV. It really was. Like MTV resurrected themselves, or just, what am I using the right word? Where my grammar box? Resurrection? Yeah, there we go. All right. So MTV came back in business. That's what I'm talking about. Janet Jackson wasn't even in the thing. She didn't even exist. They didn't even have a sister named Janet. Didn't even have a sister named whoever, two of them. How do you do the Jacksons and their sister don't even exist? They didn't mention her name. They didn't do anything, by the way. Now, all right, I did go with the clan, what I call the P2s, the pretty ones. We went, but they enjoyed it. Okay. All right, it was entertaining, but it wasn't factual enough because I thought it was a psyops. You get what I'm saying? I thought it was a psyops, and so therefore I was like, So if you go see it, then take your head out of the music ABC 1, 2, 3, which if you listen closely, because they rigged this movie, they did not play one single authentic Michael Jackson tune. It was all remakes of this dude or whoever. It was not one of his. Not one. Sound like his. They couldn't use his name. His kids at the end didn't get no points for nothing. You didn't see the family, whatever, for producer or money. None of that existed. He was the only one called his daddy Joseph one time. The other kids never said mom or dad, not one time in the whole movie. Maybe. And he was the only one getting whoopings too. Anyway, that story was crazy. It was all good. I enjoyed the company. I'm just letting you know. And they enjoyed it. So I enjoyed the company and all that works good for me. But me knowing the history of that, I'm like, this is a psyops. So with that being said, we're going to be on Forbidden Knowledge in a couple of hours. And I'm going to kind of repeat this a little bit, but go deeper. And, you know, there's a different audience over there. Maybe they'll buy the book that you all didn't want to. That's cool. They do treat you a little different, you know, that conscious world. Everybody, I know, we got to work on it together over here. And so I will do that. Yeah, thank you, Rainbow. And appreciate the stuff you text me today. I'm going to check it out tonight. And, but hey, we're going to go deeper. I'm going to get out, contact Elizabeth, April, you know, we communicating as we speak, you know, just different stuff. I'm going to get some other people here. We're working on, who is that? What's the guy's name you said? Who we're working on? Daryl. Who? No, the communications you're doing today. Anchor. So Daryl Anchor, we're in communications to get him, and we're going to probably do that a live event, okay? And I'm gonna get Bashir. Oh, I'm talking about Anchor. That's two different people. So Bashir, Daryl and Bashir over there. No. Oh, Daryl Anchor communicates with Bashir. Damn, almost like TK talking about her weekend. That is out of space. All right, so yeah, we're gonna try to get them down here in a live event. So in Elizabeth, one of those two. So we'll do that. Janet didn't give them permission to put her in there, same as that. Yeah, they didn't want to have nothing to do with it. And that tells you enough on the back end. Yes, please tell us the name of the book again. You're talking about my book. It's Roderick Martin, Truth, The Unspeakable Truth. And if you can go there and go to roderickmartin.com, someone says, I have your book. I need to get an autographed copy next time I come to Dallas. Yes, come to Dallas, John, and I got you. And yeah, I appreciate it when you come. That'll be awesome, okay? And we will look at that from there. Let's see. All right. All right. So thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. All right. And send me a text there. All right. So let's get where we're going to go. I'll see y'all back on Forbidden Knowledge right here at 8:00 live. We will be on Forbidden Knowledge. And someone said I bought it when it first dropped. Thank you. We got an autographed copy, and the foreword has been redone by Billy, so it's a little different too. So, and we would do that. So I love you all. Make sure if you didn't hear the words, I love you this weekend, I want to look at you and tell you I love you. Okay. And I really do. I love you and I love what I do. It was always been my promise to search for unconditional love and find true love, so to speak. And one of those things came about loving others where they are in a bigger capacity, and having the skills to do that and learning that makes me even a little better for the one love or all love. So at some point, again, I love you. And if you have not been told, you know, and I'm not talking about the parrot love. I love you back. I'm talking to someone letting you know, then I love you, and you are lovable. And you should be in each and every one of you. So with that being said, it's been a plum, pleasing pleasure, as well as a privilege. I'm Roderick Martin, Truth versus Authority. TK is in the house. Devin is in the house. And we're big shots now in our new corporate office. And we're kicking some butt, okay? And I'll see y'all at 8:00. And then tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and then I should have Darren on as well. If I don't get him tomorrow, it will be Thursday for sure, because that is planned, and you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss it. You just don't. And for those of you who are getting the book, I will call you out next time, and go to roderickmartin.com, okay? And if you need schedule a call, you can go there as well. See you later.
UFOs.
UAPs.
Unidentified anomalous phenomena.
Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Who are they? Where are they from? And what is their intent?
All questions that immediately come to mind with the mention of UFOs. A Pentagon report is detailing a dramatic increase in UFO sightings, more than 350 since 2021. Many of them are explained as being drones, birds, or weather events, but about half of them remain unexplained.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
This video taken by the Navy showing what he describes as pyramid-shaped UFOs flying over the USS Russell off the San Diego coast in July of 2019. The Pentagon has since confirmed that the video is authentic.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Late this afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested that the widely publicized mystery of the flying saucers may soon be solved. Army Air Force officers reported that one of the strange discs had been found and inspected sometime last week. Our correspondents in Los Angeles and Chicago have been in contact with Army officials endeavoring to obtain all possible late information. Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago. The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucers. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters at Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico, and the rancher turned it over to the Air Force. Rancher W.W. Brazil is the man who discovered the saucer.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
More people are coming forward with their own sightings.
Videos recorded by U.S. Navy personnel have added a new layer of evidence to the current national debate about UFOs.
Right at that moment, I saw what looked like 5 lights flying in formation in kind of an inverted check mark.
The NASA independent study team did not find any evidence that UAP have an extraterrestrial origin. We don't know what these UAP are.
The mysterious flying objects are still a mystery. NASA will continue investigating them and has appointed a director of UAP research.
Technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had.
Look at the fly!